Well, as the mercury rises, so too do the number of people leaving the desert for the summer, keen to take a break after a busy year and keen to enjoy a welcome respite from the high temperatures.
But how many of you have saved up those precious air miles all year to bag an upgrade on that flight home, only to discover that it's not possible? Well, it's a frustrating scene, but there are ways to master the upgrade game as long as you know how to beat the system. I went to find out the insiders' tips and tricks. Now, of course, your summer holiday is not just about where you're going, but how you're getting there. And when you get to Dubai International and you board one of these planes behind me here, the big question is whether you turn right or left.
Travelling is rarely a cheap affair, but a returned business class ticket to my neck of the woods will set you back around 20,000 dirhams, out of reach for most of us. So unless you know your way around a hedge fund or happen to be flying the plane, a free upgrade is your best chance of getting away from screaming babies and an overly cramped cattle class. But how many times does it actually happen?
I actually got a free upgrade based on the overbooking of the flight. The flight was overbooked. I checked in online, but then when I got to the counter, they already found out my details and everything. And I was given a free upgrade because I was a lone passenger.
I think if the plane is very busy and you're a gold flyer, then maybe you do get the privilege, but most people are very lucky if they get upgraded, I think.
I haven't been upgraded yet, but yes, I am in a frequent flyer with Emirates. And yeah, they told me the more that I travel, the more upgrades that I get, pretty much.
I tried on few occasions to ask the counter clerks if they would upgrade us, and it's always like a political answer saying we cannot, depends on the availability and stuff like that.
Actually, the only upgrade I got was in the cinema once, where I got into the gold class cinema once.
Clearly, it's not as easy as you might think. So, how do flight upgrades occur, and how can you land one?
Airlines generally overbook various classes within the airline, and economy is the main one that they overbook. It's a very important yielding strategy where they know there's going to be no-shows, there's going to be cancellations, so in order to try and maximise the load, they overbook anticipating that. But sometimes things don't go to plan, so they generally have a lot of people in economy and overbook that, but they still have seats available in business and first class, so that's where you get the upgrades up into the front of the plane.
So with his advice in mind, I've come to Emirates HQ to speak to the man at the top of Skywards, an 11 million member program, to get all the tips and tricks on how you can stay ahead of the air miles game.
Well, for all tickets on Emirates, you earn miles. You basically accumulate the miles up for every flight until you have enough for a free ticket or an upgrade or some other benefits that we have.
But although you'll get miles each time you fly, all plane tickets are not created equal. You may end up with fewer air miles if you book a cheap seat, or you could miss out on a free upgrade altogether, with priority usually given to frequent flyers who spend more money on their airfare. So read the fine print.
It's true that we have certain tickets that we sell online which are lower fares, and for these the upgrades can only be done 24 hours in advance. So the way to do that would be check in online 24 hours in advance, or use Manage My Booking online, or make inquiries at the airport.
So whilst you can pay for an upgrade or fork over your hard-earned miles, how do you maximise your chances of getting bumped up for free?
Well, the Emirates policy is that we only do upgrades when the flights are overbooked. And then when that happens, we prioritize our top Skywards members.
And forget trying to chat up the attendants at the gate. Skywards says it's down to the computer choosing you for an upgrade and not your charm.
Oh, it's all set up by systems in the back end. So we have everything prioritized and everything runs like clockwork.
So the experts say to travel at busy times and to travel often. But what if that's just not possible? Well, there is a shortcut to becoming a high flyer. A lot of credit cards in the UAE will award you points for when you spend on the ground to use in the air.
Basically, the way the products work is that the loyalty program, which is attached to the card, is Skywards Miles. For all the spends on the credit card, customers can earn Skywards Miles, and they can collect these miles as part of the Skywards account and then redeem it for flights and upgrades or other merchandise. We also want to encourage people to use the card to buy the tickets on Emirates and preferably online. So it's very simple. The customer has to just keep using his card for all his day-to-day purchases, lifestyle purchases, travel, entertainment, and all those will earn him miles, which he can use flexibly for buying for flights, for upgrades, for merchandise, and so forth.
But what if you're a frequent flyer? You've got the credit card to earn the miles and you're still not getting upgraded. What are you doing wrong?
I think the most important thing is to dress appropriately. Dress like you're going to travel in business class rather than being in economy, because people are going to look at you and more likely upgrade you up to those areas. Secondly, travelling alone. People are more likely to be upgraded if you're travelling alone. If you've got a wife and a couple of kids, you're unlikely to fill up the remaining seats in business class. And should people say be early, some people say be late, but I think it's probably be late, because as they're waiting for no-shows to come through and people who are not going to make that flight, if you generally come late, they know the position more of the flight, and they're more likely to give you an upgrade towards the end of the check-in period rather than at the start.
So, armed with this knowledge, you can be sure to have the best chance at turning left and joining the aeroplane elite this summer, even if your wallet is on the slim side.